Dear friends, I, Pradeep Bajpayee, once again welcome you to yet another session of Formula for Modern Management that involves 4M, which every economy or individual or any company engaged in productive activity has to concentrate. That is, first M is money, when it is applied for purchase of raw material or material, then it is put to a marketable product with the help of machinery, and this value added product after the help of machine is marketed to ultimate consumers. It is imported or it is exported as the case may be. Today we are only going to discuss about the various type of material, because this is the fundamental. Unless you have material, your process of production cannot start. And for different kind of material that is right now in the raw form has to be processed further to make it useful. The first material, that is rare earth. In rare earth means it is scarce. Only few countries have access to rare earth. This involves radioactive material also, that is uranium ore or thorium ore. Similarly, it can be cobalt, it can be lithium. There are only few countries have identified resources of these raw material, and they dominate the world economy. Because right now in electronic products, these rare earth material, raw material, is extensively used. Therefore, I have say a notional value put in the select input, where you will find the mention of rare earth, because it's very scarce, only 5 value add. Iron ore is quite abundant. Many countries have resources like iron ore, different kind of iron ores, and fortunately, our country has also vast resources of iron ore. Similarly, copper ore is also very important for the electronic industry, but it is not comparatively easily available in all the countries. Therefore, it's the availability is limited to only 20. Aluminium ore is also very important. Many products made from aluminium, because aluminium ore once processed, that gives rise to aluminium, which is used extensively as mixed raw material to make many products. They rely on aluminium. So we are right now discussing the raw material of first category. Since it is not causing any environmental damage except iron ore, because iron ore has to be produced at a very high level. So furnaces right now in raw, they use coal-fired furnaces, and they emit lot of carbon dioxide. So it is first of all a very large industry, but it is causing environmental damage also. Therefore, it is put in 45 degree, that it has a mix of both. When we talk about mix matlab, that means that it is good for the economy also, and it is bad for the economy also, because as I told you, if you require very huge investment in melting iron ore, you require very big capital expenditure. Every country cannot afford to set up big steel plants and they don't have access to that kind of technology also. Therefore, few nations who have access to both the technology as well as facility to market and distribute it, they dominate the economy rather than those countries which only produce iron ore and export it at a very low price. Similarly, there is a fossil fuel. This category involves petroleum crude, that is 75, coal, that is also 75, and jungle wood. In many countries, jungle wood is still used as a cooking media, and jungle wood is also used a lot in making of good quality furniture. So, a lot of value added. There is a possibility of creating a value chain for jungle wood. It can be used for various purposes. But the availability, because we have cut down our jungle to a very large extent, and because of global warming, we are trying to plant more and more these kind of trees which only grow in woods to restore the climate damage we have done in the past. Lot of expenditure is being made to create new jungle. Similarly, there are raw material which are sustainable in nature. Every 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, one can rotate the crop depending on climatic condition of those regions which produce wheat, rice, sugarcane, biomass, and seafood. Maximum production worldwide is of wheat. Next comes is the rice. Rice can be grown in only those areas which get good rainfall, and rainfall pattern has changed due to climatic changes. Therefore, production of rice is not increasing as fast as wheat. Similarly, sugarcane also requires a lot of irrigation facility, and since the fresh water availability is restricted, therefore it's very useful because sugarcane, after processing sugar, the remaining part can be used for various purposes: alcohol, methane, ethane. These kind of biofuels can be generated. Similarly, there is a very big chunk of biomass. Now, even grass grown in jungle has a value because it can be used as a raw material to produce biofuel of various kinds. The what we call it is a wastage after processing wheat. Similarly, after processing rice from paddy, the remaining part also has a certain value which can be put to use as a fertilizer or as a source of biofuel. So we have three categories right now, and we are going to discuss each one of them because all the world economy requires these kind of products made from these kind of three categories. The 135 total of material is dependent on the availability. Rare earths are very limited, therefore it's only 5. Iron ore is 100. Copper ore is further restricted, it's only 20. And aluminium ore is also restricted, therefore it is only 10. So 135, as I told you, it is put in the 45 material angle. It has certain advantages also and certain disadvantages also. But the fossil fuel, that is 175, it's very, you can say, the availability is also very skewed in favor of few countries. Petroleum products or petroleum crude is not found uniformly on the earth, and the Arab Peninsula has most of the reserves of petroleum crude, but that is fast depleting. In another 30 years, maybe the stock of petroleum crude will collapse. It means right now whatever investment we have done in the refinery, that will be vanish in thin air, and all those industries which are dependent on diesel or petrol, I mean to say the total transportation industry, will also require a changed production line. Similarly, jungle wood, the availability will be very decreased because there are many restrictions in cutting jungle wood. Rather, every country is trying to create more and more forest area under its geographical limit. Therefore, the availability may be very high, but it is not available for different products made out of it, and therefore other aluminium added products are now very popular because they are not creating demand for jungle wood. Only very elite class, they still buy wood furniture, that is sagon, teak furniture. Otherwise, there is very little demand for these high-end products. Therefore, I have put it still lower, that is 45. But petroleum and coal, they are creating lot of environmental implications. Global, they are responsible, fossil fuel is responsible for global warming. And there is a big hue and cry that there should be total restriction on use of fossil fuel in near future, because it will, we are already at the point of no return, and for restoration of climate which was present before we started using the fossil fuel, that level is very difficult to achieve with each passing day, with each passing year. Therefore, it is most dangerous to use it. Therefore, I have put it in unproductive category. Sustainable raw material is a most dependable item for growth, because as I mentioned you, in India you can take three crops per year. Rice is grown during Kharif season, then on the same field wheat is grown, and once wheat is ripe, there are various type of other pulses of short duration. They are also being grown on the same field. We are quite lucky in the sense that nature has given us fertile land, and we have a lot of human resources also. Experience. Our farmers are most experienced lot as compared to any other country, because they have shifted their pattern, and there are only machines operating at their fields. They don't have a agricultural labor available to really advise and how to take three crops. In some nations, due to climatic conditions like Russia, they have vast land where grain is produced, but they can take only one crop, because rest of the time it is freezing cold and topsoil is covered with ice. And in that conditions, similarly in Europe also, in many countries, it is only the climate is so severe that it is not possible to grow any crop there. So India has a very good chance of a sustainable development and can offer food security, because now food security has become as important as strategic one. Means those countries which are exporting it can dictate terms to those countries which are not producing. They are dependent on areas where they can get the grain. In that case, you will find that most damaging effect is created every year. In China, it is because of flood or it is because of extreme cold. And on top of it, they have very limited areable land where they can produce enough food grains to feed their population. And they are quite dependent on importing food grain because, as I told you, man can do away with many things, but not two times, at least two times meal to keep it alive. Similarly, sugarcane, the importance I have told you, biomass also, seafood, because of various reasons, global warming, the seafood availability is once a time it was available in quite huge quantity. But those areas which were quite abundant in fisheries, etc., now fish don't survive there. They have changed, they have migrated to colder water and away from coastline areas which were basically used for catching fish. Therefore, the availability is only, I have put 25 and the total is 210. So, highest number I have given to sustainable raw material, and it is quite obvious that the value of sustainable raw material is going to increase by leaps and bounds. I have just today heard a news that India will export twice the quantity we exported in the previous year to the different nations. It means there is a huge possibility for India to export food grain and increase profitability of its farmers. If we can also put some value addition to it, like if we are exporting wheat as a whole, why we can't make wheat flour in our country and export it rather at a higher rate? It will further increase the income of our farmers. If each village can produce wheat, they can jolly well have a small facility to make wheat flour as well. The purpose of final discussion is this, that if we can do value addition for the farmers and invite youth to engage in various kind of processing, marketing, storing facilities around their village only, or maybe in towns surrounding them, or those educated can do it in cities also, there will be a process of reverse migration. Right now, everybody is running after jobs in big cities. They don't realize how difficult it is for them in the ecosystem of a city because they will remain as a labor because they don't have any experience of any kind. They have no technical knowledge. They can't speak English also. So all these rural farmers who are rushing to cities, if they can be assured they can earn even more income by engaging in farming activities, there will be a process of reverse migration, or I mean to say from cities to village economy. This is also a dream of Mahatma Gandhi when he told that the soul of India lives in villages. Gandhian thought we will talk about, discuss about it, and prove that how foresighted he was when he used to oppose a total mechanized world based on capital. He was not against entrepreneurship, he was not against earning profit, but his concept of trusteeship is now due for reconsideration. So, with this analysis of raw material available on the type of utility they have, the kind of damages, what are the geopolitical importance of this, and ultimately The sustainable development, how it can be ensured globally. It is not just India for that matter. India is sharing technology in African continent, helping them understand how to grow a crop by distributing good quality seeds there, teaching them good agriculture practices. And that is the reason why India is the leader of third world economies. We must not lose sight of the fact that education is equally important for them, technical jobs are equally important for them, and India is prepared to give all kind of assistance to educate their population, their youth, to engage in more productive activities and use the resources themselves, do it themselves, and rather than export their minerals and natural resources to other countries. So, with this analysis, I once again thank for giving me patient hearing. I hope the economathematics or management mathematics is all part of Sanatan Ganit as well. All the concepts used have similar platform. Only the interpretation is so you are also free to do your own analysis, get into analytical part of it, and what happened in the past, what is happening in at present, and what will the possibility because the chain is unbreakable. Those things which cause global warming are still valid from where they started, and what impact they have right now, and tomorrow what kind of impact it is going to have on global warming pattern. So I need not say that those who are planning to set up an industry or engage in machining part of it and then marketing it, which is most beneficial for them. Each one of them is free to draw his own conclusions. What I and the most do is to educate about the software, utility of the software, and then if you think it is useful, please do comment, do offer your suggestions, and if you think the content can be made more useful, you can join in. Everybody is invited to contribute in creation of a knowledge base on a uniform basis. Thanks.